Recording. Hey everyone, welcome to day 4. I can't believe it's already Thursday. This week has just flown by for me, and I want to welcome every one of you here. I am so honored that you're participating, and we've had some amazing results. I got an email last night from one of our participants, and I'm just going to say her first name for privacy's sake. Her name is Cindy. And I want to read you what she said because this is huge. If you are having shifts and changes, I would love to hear from you. I would love to have you email me, and also, if you've had something significant that has happened this week, or even small, because even the small changes, notice the small changes. And if you've, as a tip, you might want to write down how you're feeling because sometimes we forget. But Cindy says, "Hi, Michelle. I don't know what the hell you tapped into. I just know it works." I'm not going to go into the whole backstory because that's a whole book. They've spent the past 6 years trying to take me out also. I've done a crap ton of work to get rid of this interference with marginal success. When you sent the email for this process, I literally got chills, and yes. Starting this past Saturday, these MFs tried to take me out. I got so sick and debilitated I literally could not get out of bed. Think you scared them? I think the answer to that is yes. They kept trying to knock me out during our first call, but I mostly hung in there. Yesterday, I went to the doctor and had labs done. What do you want to bet they don't show anything wrong? I was more lucid on last night's call and fully into the process. Today, I'm showing up, showered, domestic crap finished, fully cognizant, and back on my game. I do not know what you're tapped into, but pencil me in. This process works. Hopeful at last, Cindy. P.S. Thank you. And Cindy, thank you. I really appreciate that. What we've done is so extraordinary. And it's amazing to me how all of this stuff can also impact us physiologically. That is just so huge. And I don't think we think about the ways that we can kind of be manipulated or interfered with physiologically. But what I have come to understand is that my body is screaming at me when there's something going on. And for the longest time, I wasn't listening. I'm a little slow occasionally, to be honest. And it's just like, oh, just be quiet. Don't bother me. Don't bother me. But your body is brilliant at letting you know when there's something going on. It's just learning how, and we've been so entrained. Let me just say this. We've been so entrained not to listen to it. Let's numb it out with ibuprofen. Let's shut it down with antihistamines. Let's take some medication and deal with the symptoms. But what are the symptoms really trying to tell you? What is really, 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 really going on? And when we don't or can't listen to our body, then we really don't know what's going on. And I don't know how many of you really know my original story. Back in 1986, I had moved from Ogden to Park City and had started a fresh squeezed juice business. And it was interesting. Within 6 weeks of moving, I literally woke up when I'd gone to bed just fine, woke up in the middle of the night and dropped to my knees, just screaming in pain. And I couldn't walk. It felt like my feet had been completely shattered. Now, at the same time, I was also really beginning my look into, back then, what was called metaphysical practices, but it was really looking at energy medicine. And it was the beginning of me kind of awakening and stepping into my gifts. I was no longer having to work full-time and was able to be home with the kids and kind of more focus on me. And looking back, if I'd known then what I know now, and again, there's always a silver lining, but my sense is that if I had had some of these tools, I really would never have had to go through the pain and suffering that I have gone through. And looking back, it's like I had gone to sleep, woken up, and during my sleep was when I was being interfered with. And so if I had known how to actually do some of this clearing work, maybe I could have listened to my body in a different way, and maybe not. The silver lining is it's been a crazy journey. I have experienced some pretty intense things. I've had 5 major joint replacements, been through the ups and the downs of 2 marriages and 2 divorces and just, all kinds of stuff, which has made me a much better, more compassionate person. The quantum soul clearing process probably would never have emerged had I not been looking or needing answers. And so the gift is you guys now have the quantum soul clearing process that I didn't have. So so yay, and welcome. What else? So April said that she's feeling a lot better today after having some weird physical symptoms that started on Sunday afternoon. And she's thinking it may have all been connected to this clearing work. Absolutely. That's exactly what we're talking about. And that's exactly what Cindy said too. It's astonishing how when we begin to step up and we begin stepping into something that allows us to really emerge into our power and our potency, that this manipulation and interference tends to show up, because it's like, oh crap, she's waking up. That could be trouble for us. So I want to give you the tools so that so that you can wake up fully and step fully into your potency and power, because that to me is the most important thing that we can do. April also said, I'm hoping that all of that junk that has been destroyed and uncreated over the past few days is banished forever, and I'm able to stay clear and focused in my infinite creator self. I don't know that any of us are going to be able to stay completely clear forever. I think that some of what we've banished is gone for good, and then there's stuff that tends to kind of replicate, and I'm not sure why. I just think they bring in more reinforcements. But that's why I give you these tools. It's why you have the replays, so that you can do that. And it's also why I'm beginning my membership program next week, because I want to support you week after week after week. I am going to be providing written tools in that membership program so that you have them. You'll get access to a monthly new meditation where I take you to some pretty cool places. We're going to do a little bit of that today. I absolutely forgot about doing it yesterday. We had reached a point that felt like it was complete. So hopefully today we can have time to do that. It's really stepping into a really amazing essence that I had never been to. I've done meditation for years and years, and then this showed up yesterday. So, and it's completely different than anything I've ever experienced. Actually, you know what? Actually, I don't think I'm going to do that because it takes up too much time and I want to get to some clearing. So any other questions or comments? Georgia, you said, I had to be on the phone yesterday. Not sure if you saw me. I haven't gotten the replays, and I definitely would love to listen again. No interference there.
Michelle?
Yeah. Hi, Santa.
Hi, did you ask to unmute me?
Oh, you know what? Sorry, I just muted you. Did you? Oh, sorry, I just muted you. Did you want to be unmuted?
Okay, unmute me, yes.
Okay, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Okay, somebody had asked the question whether these are permanent or not.
Uh-huh.
I kind of agree with you that it's almost impossible to make getting rid of them permanent. You kind of need some kind of protocol.
Yeah.
And they slap you up the side of your head in different ways every time.
They're tricky. It's like they
multiply.
Well, they multiply, but they also look for ways around. They remind me of a virus, or an organism. Like we've been treating bacteria all these years with antibiotics, and then they morph,
Right.
and their purpose, or they're designed to morph so that they live. And all creatures, in some ways, are designed, to survive in some way. So as we clear them out of existence, we're clearing them out of our universe. It doesn't mean, and I want to make this a little bit clearer. We're clearing them out of our realms. We're not necessarily, I wish it were the truth. I'm hoping it's the truth. I don't know that we're necessarily destroying them out of existence, but because we all have our own awareness, and this is part of this experience that I had yesterday. I actually got to see our entire realm, the generator that's generating our entire realm, and move beyond that into this amazing silent void that was dark, and beyond that into this infinite light realm that I have never been in. And it was like merging. I could feel it changing the cellular structures of my body into something different. It was transformative, transmutative, but it was literally this cellular, molecular, subatomic transformation that I could feel. And as I was in this space, I could turn and look back and see, the void. I'm just calling it the void because it was very dark, but it was silent and peaceful. It wasn't a bad thing, but it was a very silent place, and the color of it was quite dark. It was like being in outer space, just the silence of that outer space. But looking back and being able to see that generator that's generating all of our reality, it's like a collective generator. And I had been dealing with this emotion that I have struggled with for years, and I really have to thank Marilyn Raven for the brilliance that she is, because she helped me get to this place. We were co-creating together, but looking back, it was like that generator made this understanding from this place of light, made all of this human condition so infinitesimally I can't even say the word now, infinitesimally small, that it was almost like I had to have an electron microscope to find it. And that one frequency, or the collection of frequencies around betrayal and rage and even hatred, were so, yes, I actually have those human emotions too, and some of them are projected. So you're not alone, and it's okay to have them, and there's a way past them and through them. But this frequency was like, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And because it's not who I am at that core level, and I want to be able to transcend that so I can get to the next level. So I can really step into who I am with that, constantly feeling I'm being shoved backwards and backwards and backwards. And so this experience was so transformative that connection to that experience and those frequencies are gone. I can't feel them in my body. I don't feel that activeness anymore. And it was being able to see things from such a hugely different perspective that I want to share with you. And I think that's one of the first things that we're going to do this next week. I'm starting on Wednesday, the 2nd of October. I want to start this group. So, Robin, can you unmute for 1 second?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you have access to all of the YouTube links that you can put in the chat for me?
I could probably find some of them.
Thank you. Thank you. And everybody, if you're doing a search on YouTube, pull up Michelle Manning Kogler all 3 days. And as of today, the 4th one will be in there as well. So you can find me that way as well. You can find these that way as well. So thank you, Robin. Any other questions, Santa, or comments? Because I love your clarity.
I think this is, for some of us, going to be a recurring dilemma, because no matter how much you clear, they come back in ways, and you got to be prepared to give up a lot of people in your life. Sorry.
Well, and sometimes those people self-select out. Let's be really clear, because when you change your frequency,
Right.
those people really can't abide being in that new frequency. And it's not that we're better than, it's just a mismatch. And new people come into your life. That's also one of the reasons why I'm doing this membership group, because it's a whole community of people who are like-minded, who are intent and focused on raising their frequencies together, so that as we are emerging, into this next level of awareness and consciousness, that you have other people you can play with. And not everybody is going to be a perfect match there either, but it's powerful to have a whole community that you can, and new friends that you can connect with all over the world. That's the importance.
That's important.
It is super
That's
important.
Very important, because you are going to be giving up people just by doing the work to clear yourself. When you recognize who's being used to get at you, you're not going to want those people in your life.
Yep. That is the truth.
That's why you got to be prepared to give them up. Yeah. Because if you're not prepared to give them up, I don't think any amount of clearing is going to help you.
Well, and honestly, we can't clear other people. I mean, we can clear the spaces, and if they give us permission, we can help them, but it's out of integrity for us to do it for somebody else. And I want to make that really clear, especially as many healers are in this, are on this call and in my community. We've been sold a bill of goods and I bought into it. It's like, oh, I can do that for somebody, and I can do that for somebody. That's not the point. Is it in integrity, and is that soul ready for what you're offering? And if they're not ready, there's a massive backlash. So be very cautious about what you're doing. We can clear spaces and whatever's attached to that person when they're in our space, because it impacts us. But we cannot override the free will of somebody else. We can't.
Right.
We shouldn't. There's a huge karmic implication for that. So anyway, yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you for that, Santa.
Thank you.
Okay.
So there are a few other questions that have come in. Many people are saying they haven't gotten the links yet, and you will be sending those out.
Yes.
Is the plan. Will the recordings be downloadable?
Yes. Yeah, they will be.
And will you be doing the audio as well, which is a smaller file?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, I choose that.
Good. That was all the technical comments.
Yes, they'll actually be in Dropbox so that you can download them. You'll have them, you can save them, and I will also upload them into the membership program, so you can have them there forever as well. So everything that I do from here on forward, I want people to have access to. So yeah.
And then Georgia wrote in asking, does this process clear blueprint blockages?
Yes, it does. That's part of what the quantum cell clearing process does. And so when you've heard me say clear, transform, flash burn, purify, sterilize it, those are my personal code words for clearing and using the quantum cell clearing process. And the quantum cell clearing process clears our personal, planetary, and universal core operating systems. And the personal core operating systems are your blueprints. It clears the DNA, RNA, chromosomes, genes, trailers. It clears at every level, layer, depth, every lifetime, past, present, future, simultaneous, and parallel. It's clearing you as that expanded being throughout all of creation. And so and that's what I am going to be teaching my coaches. If you're interested in my coaching program, let me know, because that's going to be coming up. And as I re-release my book in January, it's going to be, I need a team of coaches to help. Yay. I am so excited about what's coming up. I really am, because this is my opportunity to play full out that I have not chosen before. So yeah, anyway, thanks for being here.
A couple other questions about the process. They're coming thick and fast here. Trinity asks, for advice about looping the clearings. Is that advised, not advised?
Yeah, that's a brilliant way to do it. Put it on silent and loop them. Yeah. That's a great way to clear your space. Recognize though, and I will give you this one tiny little caveat, that when you do that, because we are continuing to clear, it can be too much. And especially, I don't know, except for maybe Jaden, I don't know anybody who clears at the level that I do. And it can often be a little bit too much for your neurological system. So listen to your body. If you're getting tired, turn them off, take a nap, get some water, lay down for a second or 12, 2 or 3 minutes, at least, 15, 20 minutes if you can, because your body's adjusting. And when you're tired like that, it's your body needing to catch up to, what your expanded being, your infinite creator being's doing. So does that make sense?
And what about using it with family members? Amy wrote in about, is it possible to use this with her son who struggles with anxiety?
Ask your son if it's okay to use it. And if he gives you permission. Now, it also depends on how old her son is, because cancel, clear that.
This case, he's 7.
Okay. Oh, in 7. Okay. So, yes, you can use it with your son, and ask your son's permission. One of the things that as a parent, societally, it's like, well, you're the parent, you're responsible for them. And yes, we are. And I always viewed my children as these amazing, fully developed souls in these tiny little bodies. And they had their own innate wisdom and their own path. It wasn't always really easy to let them take that path, and sometimes we had a couple of clashes, but getting them on board and teaching them these tools so that they can also use them, I believe, is really important, especially as we're opening into this new paradigm and this new age. And in human design, Robin, you're really aware of this, maybe even more than I am. There's a new paradigm shift in 2027 that Ra, who is the developer of human design, says is a whole different playing field. So, and some people have taken that, and I'm not sure I agree with this, that we've got 7 years to do our work, and after that, we're kind of screwed. I don't believe that. I believe that it's just a completely different playing field. What's your take on that, Robin?
Well, I think we're shifting to get ready.
I think we're shifting to get ready too. And it's not an easy shift. Not always.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
I like tools that help.
Exactly. I'm a practical girl too.
Yeah, you are.
Linda wrote in again about using this process with kids, but what about animals?
Yes. Animals are incredibly sensitive to these energies, and they love them. As a matter of fact, when you're doing your own processes, you'll find your animals gather around you. My big cat buddy, before he died, he was constantly, I would start, and if the door was closed or something, he would have a fit until I let him in. And he would literally sit on my desk, on my materials. And I'm like, sweetie, I need those, just move. But he loved those energies. And my little Nashasha would come in too. They love those energies. And I've noticed, being with and in my brother's home right now, while I'm waiting for my own place, his dog will, I start these calls and he's right by my side. So animals love this, and they're very attuned to these frequencies. So yeah, absolutely use it on your animals. They will love you even more. Other questions?
Not right now.
Oh, Trinity. Do you advise against this loop? Oh, no, that was one. Okay, so you already asked that. Okay. So, any other questions before we get started? Okay. Yay. Okay, I'm excited about this. So let's everybody just drop in. Take a deep, big breath. connect with that authentic, symbiotic, biological body. And that authentic, symbiotic, biological planet. Feel that planet just support you. Feel it underneath your feet. If you're lying down, feel it underneath your back. Feel the essence of our planet surround you and support you. That primal blue-green, infinitely conscious and aware planet. And as you get centered in that connection, anything that is in the way of being centered, just give permission to clear it out, put it in that big blue cosmic dumpster, the containment field, the pile, whatever you want to call it. And then expand your energy field out, bigger than the planet. And anything in the way of that, just put it in the pile, put it in the field. And expand out even bigger than that, out through the solar system and bigger than the solar system. 360 degrees. Don't forget to go behind, push behind. If there's resistance behind you or below you or anywhere, just push past it. Send whatever's resisting into that containment field. You have that power as that infinite being. Everything to the left, everything to the right, everything above you, everything below you, everything in front of you. Send it into the pile, into the containment field, into the dumpster. And then expand your field out even more. Just allow it to flow out through the entire universe, bigger than the universe. Wow, that was really a lot easier than earlier this week. I love how simple this is. Anything in the way of that, just clear it out of existence. Beautiful. And then as you get to the edges of the universe and you look out, oh, there's that multiverse, all those trillions of other universes, and let's expand out bigger than that. And everything behind you, don't forget behind you. And everything below you. Keep pushing back. Back. Double that. Double that, double that, double that, double that, double that. Yeah. There you go. And everything below. There you go. Everything to the left. Everything to the right. And everything out in front of you and everything above you. There you go. And as you continue to expand out, double that, double that, double that, expand out to beyond the beyond the verse, beyond the multiverse. And then expand out into the infinite realms. And that's just infinite expansion throughout time, space. There you go. All the different realities. Nice. Nice job, everyone. Awesome, awesome job. And now expand in to that infinite being and your infinite being's infinite realms. And expand and connect with the infinite planet. Beautifully done. So I want to talk a little bit today. Anywhere that we have, I want to go back to that feeling of everything that this has brought up, as we were talking about doing work for our animals and our pets and our homes, we can do them from our homes as well. If you've got electronics, you can do it for your electronics. You can do it for your car. I clear the road before I go anywhere. I'll clear my pathway. So, so anything this week has brought up for all of us, let's just give the intention to clear all of that. Do you choose to destroy and uncreate all of that? Let's do that. Let's clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize that up now out of existence. So none of that existed ever. Got somebody unmuted here. There we go. And so anywhere that, I want to get into the clearing the frequency of conflict. Because oftentimes it's conflict that creates that feeling of helplessness and hopelessness. It's Robin, it sounds like we've got somebody unmuted.
I cannot find it either. I'm not seeing anything unmuted. Sometimes that happens if people are on a computer and also on a phone. We don't necessarily see both of them, but everyone I can find is muted.
You know what? It's probably Doris.
So if you're also on a phone, Doris, mute your phone microphone.
I'm not.
Who is that? Who just spoke?
Doris.
Okay. Can you mute your phone for me, please?
I'm not on the phone. I'm on the computer.
Oh. So do we have I've got two Dorises on here.
Doris G, are you using a headphone and maybe the mic is picking up from your computer?
No, just the computer microphone.
That is so interesting. Huh. Here we go. The other Doris left. No, they did not. Yeah, they did. That is so wild. Oh, here it is. Okay. They just got muted. Yay. I think we fixed the problem. Sorry, guys. It was just incredibly distracting. No, not true. Okay, well, we'll just keep going. Little interference here, guys. And this is how it works. Isn't that interesting? The subtleties that are how things like that work. That is hilarious. See if there's any other. Anybody else who is on their phone? I don't know why this is doing this. That's the strangest thing ever. Huh. I just want a clean recording. So hang on 1 second while we fix this. I'm going to put this on pause for a second while I fix this. Okay, so we are going to start again here. So everything that distraction has created and brought into this call. I love when I get distracted, and I love so everything that is seen, unseen, known, unknown, all the unseeable, unspeakable, untouchable, undetectable, all the consciousness, subconsciousness, unconsciousness, anti-conscious, all the energy fog, misinformation, disinformation, cloaking, Wernicke's commands, the time bombs and booby traps, everything like that in all languages. And what are all of the entities, demonics, creatures, coalitions, federation, amalgamation, aliens, reptilians, insectoids, hybrids, parasitics, beings, doings, havings, gods, demigods, semigods, archons, light and dark force angels, and light and dark force beings, everything like that in all languages. All of the clients, customers, shareholders, stockholders, boards of directors, officers, gentlemen and women, all of their networks, hives, civilizations, planets, universes, everyone that they know and everything that they know, and everyone and everything that they know. Let's just send them out, banish, vanquish, clear, transform, flash, burn, purify, and sterilize it all now, back to and through each of its source and or sources, purifying the source and or sources so none of it existed ever. There, that's a little cleaner, a little better. Sorry, thanks. Thanks for staying here with me, guys. This is awesome. And you can see how subtle these manipulations and interferences can be. So all this week, we have really been talking about helplessness and hopelessness. And I want to talk about the conflict that often makes us feel that way and how it might relate to feeling helpless and hopeless, because many of us were never taught how to deal with conflict. Nobody, and often conflict meant somebody got hurt, as in childhood homes or even as an adult, if you were in a relationship that wasn't safe. So anywhere that we have been in situations where conflict has created massive fear, that feeling of being helpless to make a change and therefore feeling hopeless that things are going to be different. Let's just seek, find, gather, and bind all of that. Wow. And how we may also be, that helplessness, hopelessness can also be because of health conditions. And so anywhere that we might be in conflict with our body and conflict between body and being, that might be causing more health disturbances, health conflict. Oof, wow, that brought up a lot. All of the ways that, maybe having chronic conditions, been there, done that. Having a chronic condition is a form of conflict because it makes us doubt ourselves. It makes us be in conflict, wondering whether we can even stay or be in body. Sometimes, depending on, if it's a disease process that could, quote, take us out, that might be life-threatening. If we've been in situations, that have been maybe life-threatening, that type of conflict. And anywhere in the world, even, that conflict is maybe hijacking our peace of mind. Turning on the news, inadvertently, and many of us don't listen to the news anymore because it's just so filled with conflict. Anywhere we've got conflicting feelings, let's just seek, find, gather, and bind all of that.
Priorities and choices.
Yeah, priorities and choices. Where those priorities may create conflict in the choices. Speak more to that, Robin.
Well, I'm giving voice to April's question. When you first started talking about conflict, does this include conflict between the multiple things I want to do or feel the need to do?
Brilliant. Thank you for picking up on that. Yes. What's the priority? What do I really want to do? And the ways that we even feel conflicted, especially if you've ever been a working mom, the conflict between having to work, having to take care of kids, and maybe a husband and yourself. Time conflicts. Wow. So everything that has brought up for right now, do you choose to destroy and uncreate all of that? I know I do. Let's send that into the field. Let's just clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that now back to and through each of its source and or sources, and purify the source and or sources. And what are all of the ways then that conflict is being used as a tool to distract, control, and manipulate you into not being your authentic, empowered, expanded being? And receive that information? Whew. Whoa. And all the ways that conflict has been used as a tool to actually shut you down. Not just distract you, but to keep you playing small, to keep you afraid of being who you are. Receive that information, put it all in the pile, all in the pile, all in the pile, everything behind you, everything in the timeline behind you, all of the other timelines and existences where there have been conflicts, wars, police actions, violence, all of that. Clear the timeline, pull it up from the timeline, send it into the pile. Holy mackerel. Wow. All of the future timelines where there is conflict that is being contrived, that is being fomented, that is being created to make us doubt self, to distract us, to shut us down. Yeah, Trinity says there's a lot of feeders with social media. You're not kidding. And so what are all of the ways then that this conflict is now impacting past, present, future, simultaneous and parallel lifetimes and existences? And let's bring all of those timelines from behind us, from the sides, and let's bring them in. And I want you to take your left hand and begin at the beginning of those timelines and just kind of visualize the beginning of those timelines and put them in front of your palm and bring them in from the left. And then the end of those timelines, all the way to the left, all the way to the left, as far as you can reach. And then bring them all in together, all in together, all in together, all in. And they're going to kind of collapse. They're getting more, what's the right word? Compacted. Bring them in, 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 bring them in. Bring them together, kind of ball them up, wad them up into one tiny little piece. Bring them together, and you're going to squish them all together into one tiny, infinitesimally small dot, just a pinpoint. Together. And then take that pinpoint like it's on a piece of paper and rip it in half. And let's clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that timeline conflict. Whew. That got really quiet. And what are the ways that we can use the energy, that we can turn the energy of conflict to each one of our local advantages and receive that information? Wow. What are the ways that you have not been willing to engage in conflict or even entertain conflict because you're afraid that you're going to be hurt, or that you're going to hurt somebody else, or that those that you love will be hurt? And receive that information. And again, all that information we're just putting in the pile, we're putting in the containment field. Wow. And in this conflict, what are all of the entities, demonics, creatures, coalitions, federations, amalgamations, all of the aliens, reptilians, all of the reptilians, the insectoids, all the hybrids, the parasitics, beings, doings, havings, gods, demigods, semigods, archons, light and dark force angels, light and dark force beings, all the other non-contributive factors that are here and present. What is everything that we said and that we agreed we would do for them? Everything they said and agreed they would do for us. What is the benefit or value? And what is not the benefit or value? Holy mackerel. What is everything you're defending for? And everything you're defending against? And everything you're righteous for? Holy crap. Everything you're righteous against? And do you choose to destroy and uncreate all of that now? Yes, I choose that. Clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that now back to and through each of its source and or sources, purifying the source and or sources. And who were you, the infinite being at the creation, assembly, gilding, sourcing, inception, insertion, modification, copying, and cloning of all of these beings, all of their networks, hives, civilizations, realities, universes, and hierarchies, all of their customers, clients, shareholders, stockholders, boards of directors, officers and gentlemen and women, everyone and everything they know, and everyone and everything that they know, everything associated with them. Whoa. And what are all the personality imprintings, identity imprintings, retemplating, and disguised memory implants all associated with this around the conflicts? All the patterns, layers, levels, and depths above and below that. Holy cow. And above and below that. And above and below that. Do you choose to destroy and uncreate all of this now? Yes, I choose that. Retract, rescind, revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, uncreate, retroactively make null and void all of the vows, contracts, commitments, agreements, addictions, alignments, alliances, loyalties, oaths, promises, covenants, vengeances, vendettas, secrets, magics, dark and black secrets, dark and black magics that we have all taken consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, anti-consciously under manipulation, trickery, or deceit out of a sense of doing the right thing, and then make them all retroactively null and void now. Banish, vanquish, clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of this now back to and through each of these source and or sources, and then purify the source and or sources so none of this existed to begin with. And that sense of conflict, anything that's remaining, does that belong to you or someone or something else? That fear of conflict or the sense of conflict. Is it you or someone or something else? Everything that is not authentically your being, let's just clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that now back to and through each of its source and or sources, purifying the source and or sources so it never existed ever. And what are all of the, there's something in here. There's something else in here that's asking to be seen. So what are all of the interesting points of view that you have around conflict? That it's good, that it's bad, that it's violent. Interesting point of view. Everything that you have about that. Anybody want to comment on what conflict means to you? You want to just type it into the field for me here, into the webinar chat? What does conflict mean for you? What does it bring up for you? Because these are all interesting points of view that interference and manipulation can tie onto so that it keeps conflict, helplessness, hopelessness in your field. Tana says, conflict in my history means that the relationship is over. Yeah. And so everything that is, and Teresa says, avoiding somebody's anger, confrontation, uncomfortable stuff. Georgia says, yeah, exactly. Possible end of relationships. Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. Someone, A says, I'm fine with conflict conflict, but others criticized it. Enid says fear. It brings up lots of fear. Conflict focuses on the other as separate and different, not okay. Conflict is draining. We don't need it. Some people feed off of it. Exactly. All of these amazing points of view. Perfect. I love this. Susie says, I can never win. Whoa, feel the energy in that one. Let's send that into the pile, everything that is. Georgia says, from childhood, lots of trouble if I stuck up for myself. You betcha. Don't ever stick up for yourself. That's how you end up, being in massive trouble. Never speak up, never stand up, never be who you are, and everything that is. Holy cow. Those are awesome. Anyone else? Anyone? Conflict triggers PTSD and psychological fight, flight, or freeze. Absolutely. So what are all the ways then that conflict has triggered some form of PTSD for you? That has made you want to flee, stand there and fight, continue the conflict until it's resolved, or just freeze? Shut up, freeze, don't move, that your body gets tight. Can you feel all of that in your body? Yeah, exactly. So, so all of those interesting points of view, conflict is good, conflict is bad, conflict is scary, conflict is easy, conflict is something to be avoided at all costs. Conflict with my ex is costly and creates a web to include others. Ugh. Yeah, conflict is used as a weapon with our kids. Yes, most of the time it's useless to fight. And Joanne says that is our adrenals. Yep, absolutely. It can just conflict destroys our adrenals. I can't get to the other I can't get the other person to understand. Linda says conflict damages family, so shut up and put up with all that shit. Exactly. So just put up with it. Doesn't matter who you are. Just leave it alone. Just be quiet. Don't speak your truth. Yeah. All of those amazing points of view. All that is, everything that is. Let's put that in the pile. And all of the fear. Actually, I think we're going to do a program clearing on this. I like this. So all of the ways that conflict has become what's called a program, and this is some of Jaden's work that I think is so brilliant. Jaden Fox, he says, and he explains programs like this. I perceive the system of programs to be like millions of autonomous, energetic pico-technology models that run small functions, little programs, but they can group together and interconnect in mass to manage larger functions. Oops. Oh, yeah, you get labeled as difficult. Absolutely. That's another one. And then he goes on to say, from some viewpoint, it seems that we were manipulated to permit these programs to intercede, to make decisions and intervene on our behalf, and to represent us without our awareness. These autonomous modules have the capability to intercommunicate and interconnect with all other program modules. So it's like they start clumping together. They get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they become like these machines that are self-running and self-propagating, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then they also connect with the larger artificial intelligence systems as a whole. Many of us unknowingly contribute to the funding and the operation of these programs, all of their coding and all of their initial and ongoing programming and coding with our own life force energy. So we end up getting plugged into these little nano and pico technology modules that are these programs, and they create these ongoing self-propagating programs that then become part of our lives. And it's like we've given permission at some level for these programs to intercede and continue in our lives. Whoa, feel that? Can you feel that in your body, how huge that is? We're going to clear that out. So what are all of the ways that these systems of conflict may be pretending to function to your advantage. And just receive all of that information. Or that are pretending to not function to your advantage, and receive. And how is that actually serving you or not serving you? Receive that information, put it all in the pile. And what are all of the ways that these conflict programs and systems that you're emerged in have connected you to a synthetic reality overlay? Receive that information. Oh, whoa. Oh, that makes me feel gaggy inside. Whoa, send that all into the pile. And just kind of check your own body. Check your own body. What percentage of your reality is now in a synthetic reality? And receive. Is it more than 25%? More than 55 or 50%? More than 75%? For some of you, I get that it's almost 100%. For some of you, it's in the low 10s, 15s. Yeah. And what percentage of this system is now funded by your life force energy? Holy cow. More than 25%, more than 50%, more than 75%. And there's no wrong answer. There's absolutely no wrong answer, because this is, one of those points of view things. And so all of that information, let's send into the pile. And truth, body and being. Do you have the capacity to terminate this system completely? Yes or no? And if you get a no, is that you saying that? Is that your authentic being saying no? Or is that someone or something else saying no? And all that is, do you choose to destroy and uncreate all of that? Yes, I choose that. Clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that. Send it into the pile. Wow, anywhere that we've given permission. Yeah, there we go. And what percentage of this system authentically serves you? Less than 25%? Less than 15%? Less than 5%? Yeah. April says the idea of synthetic reality brings up fear. Yeah. So question, is that your fear, April, or is that someone or something else's fear that, oh shit, she found us? Yeah, Tana says ick. Bah. I know, right? Bah. Some conflict seems to cause me and others to be very angry and enraged. Absolutely. And it's because of those points of view, we get so polarized that we get so triggered, and that's how we get sucked in. That's how we get sucked into conflict, is through that polarity. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you in just a minute. And so let me ask you, as this authentic creator being, what if you're actually wired into the control system of this reality? And what if the system uses your perceptions and life force to restrain you? All that information, we're just sending it in the pile, because this is going to feel really uncomfortable. And it is uncomfortable, because it's like, shit, I thought I was in control. No, sometimes we're not. And especially when it comes to this conflict piece, this helplessness, hopelessness, conflict piece, it's so massive. It's so massive. And the entire AI matrix, the machine, is designed to create conflict, because it sucks you in, it sucks in your energy, and it keeps you polarized. That's what it's designed to do. And so if you're feeling conflict, if you're feeling polarized, especially when it comes to politics, perfect way to get you polarized. You're getting sucked back into this machine. And it's a massive machine. It's a massive machine. And my job is to help you take it down. So, and do you ever find yourself explaining your actions to the system? Well, what I'm going to do now is, and what I need to do then is, and you find yourself even speaking out loud. Sometimes that's informing the machine. And it's also giving permission for you to interact with it. Again, just information. It's not, this isn't about making you right or wrong. It's just in. It's okay. And what if you can use your access and connection as that infinite being to alter and then bring down this system with ease? Because that's who you are. And that's what we're going to do in just a minute. And the next question to ask, and all that, we're going to put it in the pile. How can you use this system to your advantage and to serve your agenda, or to terminate it completely? Receive that information. Just receive, hand on your heart, and receive the information. Whew. Okay. So let me pull up. Where'd my sheet go? Hang on. Hang on, so that I can expand this and make it bigger so you can all see it. Okay. Expand. Oh, that's too big. Sorry. Oh. There we go. No, dang it. Okay. Hi, Robert. Thanks for coming. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you, and here we go. So I'm going to have you speak this out loud. So you're going to ask out loud, what are all the programs under and supporting conflict and the feelings of helpless and hopelessness? And just receive. And then you're going to say out loud, I call out all programs under and supporting the program of conflict, helplessness, and hopelessness. And you're going to call it out right in front of you. And then this is a command. This is you being Jean-Luc Picard of the Starship Enterprise captain. And you are going to give the command to the computer, the one that takes care of all of the systems. And the command is, all intercessions terminate now. And you're not going to say it, all intercessions terminate now. This is a command. Do this. All intercessions terminate now. Next one. All intercessions exterminate now. All communications terminate now. All communications exterminate now. All intercommunications terminate now. All intercommunications exterminate now. All connections terminate now. All connections exterminate now. All interconnections terminate now. All interconnections terminate now. All programs terminate now. All programs exterminate now. And then this next command, I extract and claim all power sources and exchange and use them to my local advantage now. And we're going to line all of those power sources up in front of you. And we're going to give the instruction that they're washed, cleansed, cleared, ready to be replaced. They are cleared of all AI frequencies, all listening, monitoring, manipulation, all devices. I'll get to the questions in just a minute. And then we're going to strip out all of the energy sources from them. And the command is, all energy sources and frequencies in these power sources, not authentically belonging to me, must be cleared, transformed, flash burned, purified, and sterilized now. Re-imprint with my authentic, expanded being's local advantage wants, needs, and desires, and my authentic being's original blueprint, so they permanently belong to me now. And then receive. So receive all of those power sources. You can use them, you can exchange them. Your body probably needs them. And then once they've been downloaded, everything remaining, I choose to destroy and uncreate it all now. And let's clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize it all now, back to and through each of its source and or sources, and then purify and flash burn the source and or sources so they never existed to begin with. Whew. Wow. Feel how quiet that got? Wow, nice. Comments. What are you guys experiencing? I want to hear what's going on for you. And yes, Robert, please catch it on the replay. That would be awesome. Yeah, shivers. April says shivers. Isn't that interesting how I always feel really energized when I do a program clearing like that. Anyone else? That cleared a lot from my solar plexus, says Amy. It does clear. It clears an awful lot, doesn't it? Isn't it amazing? Joanne says, very good. Yay. My head shook back and forth and I see a gray circle in my mind. Oh, that's interesting. Teresa says, I see an old military radio non-functioning. Isn't that fascinating? Absolutely fascinating. It's making me rock and roll, getting ready to get stuff done. Woohoo! Woohoo! Had a Rolfing session and was told my tendons and ligaments were softer. That's amazing, Robert. That's very cool. And Enid says, the back of my neck is no longer stressed. Isn't that amazing how it affects us physiologically? That's the astonishing part to me. And Joe says, there seems to be something that's blocking me from receiving and participating in the energy and clearings. Hang on, Joe. I'm going to unmute you in a second. Connie, I think it's Connie. Every time you said clear dark energy forces today, my computer just started wigging out. Oh, so let's clear all of the communication and telecommunication devices between me and each and every one of you. Oh, there's no mic, sorry. Okay. So let's see. Anywhere that we are being blocked from receiving and participating in any energy receivings or clearings, do you choose to destroy and uncreate all of that? Everything, all the unseeable, unspeakable, unknowable, untouchable, undetectable, consciousness, subconsciousness, unconsciousness, anti-consciousness, energy fog, misinformation, disinformation, cloaking, everything hidden, hiding, buried, covered up, masquerading, disguised, left behind, forgotten, ignored, or denied, everything that looks really good but really isn't. All the bindings, double bindings, triple bindings, quadruple bindings, binds to infinity and back. All of the, what are all of the, oh gosh. Yeah, double bindings, triple bindings. All of the all of the divine, all the booby traps, time bombs, all of the systems, agreements, divine, golden, trillion, million, billion, infinite year agreements, all the entry and exit agreements. Here we go. All the safety clauses and protection clauses, all the anchors and signatories that are across all realms, fractures, relationships, timelines, universes, planets, simulations, and all of the artificial intelligence and virtual reality worlds, detected, undetected, seen, unseen, known, and unknown. Do you choose to destroy and uncreate all of that? Let's retract, rescind, revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, uncreate, retroactively make null and void. Whew, clear, vaporize, liquefy, out, 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 banish, vanquish, and say, body not you, body not you, body not yours, planet not you, planet not you, planet not yours, planet not yours, being not you, being not yours. And what are all of the allegiances, alliances, loyalties, diplomatic relations, all the auto installs, auto reinstalls, all the backups and copies, auto backups and copies, all the auto backups and installs of those copies and backups? What are all the technologies, nanotechnologies, picotechnologies, dark and black meta technologies, all the magics and signatories here? Wow. And then everybody repeat after me. I choose to unplug from all of these artificial intelligence systems now. There you go. And then let's clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of this now back to and through each of its source and or sources, and then purify the source and or sources so it never existed to begin with. Whew. And so what is everything that our body and being are now requiring? What is all of the peace, all of the empowerment? What are all of the ways that we can choose? I want to say different ways of conflict, but different interactions with conflict that allows, how do I want to say this? It's not the right way to say it. What are all the ways that we can release conflict and then we can be in conversation instead? There we go. And we can allow those differences of opinion without getting into conflict or getting triggered. And let's receive. Put your right hand on your heart, your left hand over your right hand, and just receive. What are all of the ways that we are empowered to speak, to be? What are all of the ways that we can now receive more of who we are? And how can we be more, how can we be stronger, healthier, more vibrantly, radiantly vibrant? What are all of the ways that we can step into our purpose, our life purpose, and our passion? And receive that information. Say receive. And how can we stand up for ourselves in ways that are clear and distinct so that they are respected and honored? Receive that information. What are all of the ways that as we speak up and speak out, all of our needs are met, are honored, are acknowledged? And how can we, the expanded being, receive more and more than that? Receive. And what are all of the ways as we step out of the old paradigm of conflict, we step into a new awareness and consciousness of co-creativity? And empowerment and connection. Receive. And let's times this by a funzillion. Frequency and energy match to a times a funzillion. Everything that our body and energy bodies, everything that our expanded being needs, and everything that the planet needs. Ooh, let's apply all these energies to the planet as well. Whew. And what are all of the ways that we can now fully be conflict resolution and receive? Wow. And as you are in this centered space, I want to transmit an energy to you that I received again yesterday. And so with your right hand on your heart and your left hand over your right hand, I'm going to send this energy out to each and every one of you. We're going to be silent for a moment. And if you will say the word receive, I want to send this extraordinary frequency to help activate this new frequency of empowerment and conflict resolution. So receive. And expand this even greater. And then times it by a funzillion. And receive. Wow, thank you for being here, everyone. Any comments before we leave? If you'd like to unmute yourselves, you may. Let me see if I can unmute everybody. Go ahead.
All the questions in the Q&A.
Can we have our DNA checked and see where we are? That's a great question. Teresa, what do you mean by that, sweetie? Teresa, can I unmute you for a second? Or do you have access to a mic or to be able to talk? If so, you can unmute yourself, I think. Teresa?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Earlier you had stated that, I don't know what that was. It sounds like somebody from Christmas past. Okay. You had mentioned the RNA and the DNA, and that was all going to be changed, but I forgot what the context of your statement was.
I remember. So as we shift and change, as these new frequencies are brought in, and as we release the old frequencies, it literally is a change in our DNA and our RNA. When we're bringing in these frequencies, it's re-imprinting, and especially when you're doing the quantum soul clearing process, it is Georgia, I muted you. I will unmute you in just a moment. When you do the quantum soul clearing process, as we're clearing, we are clearing the DNA and the RNA, the chromosomes, the genes, the trailers of the negative frequencies, so that it's changing how our body actually, the cellular structures actually replicate. Mm-hmm. So as we change at that core cellular structure, you're also going to need more water. You're going to need clean, healthy foods to help re-imprint. And green foods, green, healthy, organic foods are really important right now, especially as we're going through all of this. As much as possible, take in really healthy nutrition, because it helps the cellular structures re-imprint and hold the frequency much more effectively. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I crave chlorophyll.
Perfect, because chlorophyll is plant blood and it corresponds with your own blood. So it's helping your body rebuild in a completely different way. Isn't that cool?
So that means we can avoid genetic diseases, things like this, right?
Yeah, it changes how the genes express. Absolutely.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, well, I'm all for it.
Well, what we're doing hasn't worked. So let's try something new and different.
Yeah, because
right?
they're chemtrailing like crazy in the Phoenix area.
They are everywhere, honey.
It's constant,
I know it is. It's crazy. So everywhere that we have believed, so everywhere that we have believed that we are helpless and it's hopeless to fight against chemtrails. That's everything that is.
Oh.
Yes.
Starting all over again.
Yes, everything that is. Can we choose to destroy and uncreate all of that?
Yes.
Yes, I choose that. Clear, transform, flash burn, purify, and sterilize all of that back to and through each of its source and or sources, and purify the source and or sources. And as creator beings, how powerful are we to begin to nullify, void, and neutralize all of the toxic effects of chemtrails?
Yeah, that's what I try to do when I lay out in the sun or go swimming.
Mm-hmm.
I try to neutralize any kind of effects from the sun and from the chemtrails.
Yeah. Actually, the sun is helping to reprogram your DNA. Yeah. It's the toxins in the air as the sunlight hits them and your skin that can cause problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Or gellins. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So what are all of the other ways then, as infinite beings, can we step into radiant, vibrant health and well-being and receive? And to use the energy for our local advantage and receive.
Yeah,
Brilliant question.
Yeah, I got keep away from the alcohol for your liver.
Right?
Okay.
Well, and honestly anymore, it's just good practice. It's just good practice to do a good liver detox, a good whole body cleanse a couple of times a year, because there's, our physical bodies need that support. They just do.
Okay, well, as far as all the DNA went, I agreed with you, and I thought of that to begin with. Mm-hmm. So you kind of confirmed that.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I love this work that we're doing together. Thanks so much, Teresa.
Thank you.
A wonders if it increases telomeres too.
Yes, it does. And you can also go in and ask your body to manufacture lengthened, strengthened telomeres. So what are all the ways, as an expanded infinite being, can our body respond genetically and cellularly, our chromosomes and genes, to help regrow and strengthen those telomeres so that we stay younger longer, and to reverse aging? Receive. Yeah. Can you feel that in your bodies? I love that for sense. Yeah, Robert's been doing this for years. He's brilliant at it, actually. Robert's been in my community for a while. You're pretty spectacular, Robert. Okay, any other questions? Oh, one new message, 2 new messages. I'm sweating like crazy. Perfect. This is cellular change. This is cellular respiration. Yay! That's how you know physical body changes.
You talked about looping the recordings earlier. Cynthia wrote in, can it be played on a loop while you're asleep?
Yes. Yes, you can do that while you're asleep. And again, with the caveat that if you're super sensitive, it might disturb your sleep. So it may help you sleep better, but if you're super energetically sensitive, notice if it's interfering with your sleep. That's my only caveat. Yeah, it could interfere with deep sleep. I've you know what, you just inspired me to do something really kind of fun for next month's membership. I think I'm going to do a meditation around sleep so that we're clearing out interference while we sleep. And that's something that you probably could process for looping. So that'll be in our new membership. That'll be one of the bonuses in our membership for next month. So I don't have my link yet, I don't think, I don't think I have a link yet for the membership program. My team has been working overtime to get some of this done, and I feel badly about it. So it's been kind of crazy. Oh, wait, she just sent me something. Yay, I love synchronicity. Let me put this in the chat. This is just going to be a link if you want to sign up now. Oh, dang it, hang on a second. My computer is not working properly. Surprise. I'm going to put the link here in our group, and then I will also create a Facebook page so that you can hop into that. And actually, those of you who are in my Money Codes workshop, Money Codes Facebook page, I will put the link in there. And then I will migrate those of you who choose to go into the membership program. I'll migrate you over to a new Facebook page so that we can play and you can support one another. The other thing I'm going to do in our membership program that I found to be incredibly effective is to pair you up so you can connect with one another. And that way, each week or every other week, or whatever your schedules will allow, and every couple of weeks we'll switch that up so that you have a new partner and you get to know everybody in the community on a first name basis and on a personal level. And that way you can do the clearing work together and the exploration and the activation work. So we're going to do a lot more activating also in our membership. We've done a lot of clearing here because I felt like that's really been the focus. Tomorrow, I think we're going to do some receiving work and maybe even do some money receiving stuff. In the membership program, every couple of months, we're going to have a very specific purpose. So I think I'm going to break it up into segments. So we'll do like a relationship segment. We'll do a health segment. We may even do a weight loss segment if that's of interest to anybody. And bye, Georgia, thanks. I'll do a money segment. We will do segments on mental health and things like that. So each month or every couple of months, we'll have a very specific focus. It's not that you can't bring stuff into it, but let's look at how all of this plays together. And I'm excited. So I hope you'll join me. Come play. I can't wait. We're going to have so much fun together. And if you have questions or you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Michelle at quantumsoulclearing.com. My team is here for you as well. Like I said, they're a little overwhelmed this week with another project they're working on. So thank you, everyone. And everyone, thank you for being here. And you're welcome. You are so welcome. I love all of you. And for those of you who are watching the replays, know that your energy has been included in all of these. So I love you dearly. See you tomorrow. Bye.